But you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
You know, it's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations live in person.
Champion, he's now being talked about as an opponent for Anthony Joshua. Can that fight happen?
I think the fight can absolutely happen. I'm looking at it as Jake versus Joshua, which is quite biblical and it's quite impactful in many ways.
The official date of the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua bout is January 2026, according to the reports. The massive crossover fight is reportedly being seriously negotiated, with Saudi boxing power broker Turki Al-Sheikh trying to support the event. Jake Paul's manager, Nakisa Madarian, indicated that negotiations had begun with Joshua's camp and Eddie Hearn. Wembley and locations in the US and the Middle East are among the venues being considered after defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
If you likes this, please subscribe, Fight File, and click the bell icon for more new boxing updates.
In terms of those active discussions, how far have things progressed? Is it something that you can see happening next for Jake and for AJ?
I think we're looking at it happening in Q1 of 2026 is kind of the current discussion. I think it's public that AJ was taking a little time away. I think he had a little surgery. So once he's ready and once Jake is ready, we're going to squarely focus on that.
There are some concerns, aren't there, within the boxing world about Jake fighting someone as powerful as AJ. How much of a worry is that? We saw what he did to Ngannou.
So power is obviously the last thing to go. So obviously AJ has a ton of power and he's still fairly young.
Jake Paul said that a fight with Anthony Joshua was highly likely to happen the following year. After exchanging communications, Paul disclosed that Joshua proposed holding the fight toward the end of 2025, with a full-scale conflict anticipated in early 2026. That sentiment was confirmed by his management, Nakisa Badarian, who confirmed that there were ongoing talks about a biblical fight.
Now, I know you're after a world title, but if that doesn't materialize, I know the Tommy Fury name has been floated about. Is there any other fighters who may not be world champions that you're looking to face?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua.
I think that's the main one that, we've talked a lot about is if it's not for the title, it's looking at Tommy, if he's reasonable, and then Anthony Joshua. And he's adamant that he wants to make that fight happen at the end of 2026.
Anything's possible. And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next.
Paul backed up his public challenge with real enthusiasm, declaring a crazy clash with Joshua is precisely what he intends next following his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in order to shock the heavyweight world. He called out Anthony Joshua directly on his podcast and doubled down after the bout, insisting on Anthony Joshua first.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua. I know I will beat. Knocked out, right? Yeah. He doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends. But I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of people. I will not beat David Benavidez.
Paul is adamant that boxing will benefit from his planned bout with Anthony Joshua, claiming it would attract new followers, new enthusiasm, and enormous international attention. Legends like Joshua, Tyson, Fury, and Pacquiao acknowledged his contribution to the sport, and he has referred to himself as a breath of fresh air. Paul emphasized the need to revitalize boxing, and his appeal to a wider audience draws in younger viewers who might not otherwise be interested in traditional boxing, since Joshua is expected to recover from elbow surgery in late 2025.
But you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
You know, it's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations live in person, which are always fun. But it's going to happen, and it's just such an exciting fight that crosses the whole globe. When you ask a lot of people about certain boxers, they don't know their names. And everywhere I've been going, I just talk about Anthony, and I don't have,
I'm global, so it's just such a good fight for the sport of boxing. And people will think I will die, but I will show them why I can rise against all odds and beat him. Everyone's been wanting to see happen. Who will be the king of the United Kingdom? And who will be the queen of the United... Too soon? I'm praying that boxing doesn't happen to this fight. And what I mean by that is politics. People trying to take more money than they deserve. Fuck the money. Get in there. Make fucking history. This is one of the biggest fights that could happen over this past decade. Make it fucking happen, Eddie Hearn. Make it fucking happen, Frank Warren. Make it happen, Tyson. Make it happen, Anthony Joshua. We don't need fucking excuses. Don't let boxing ruin this fight. Get in the fucking ring and fight like men.
Eddie Hearn has also indicated that serious negotiations are in progress for a possible Joshua versus Jake Paul bout scheduled for early 2026. According to reports, Saudi boxing champion Turki Alalshik is in favor of holding the fight, which makes it more likely.
Discussions with AJ are as follows. We will be ready to fight November, December. We are planning life without Jake Paul. But if that is for real, of course, we take that fight in a heartbeat. We don't think that, I don't just think Jake's doing it just purely for publicity, but at the same time, will he actually do it? We'll find out soon, but we're up for it. But we can't just live in the world of waiting for Jake Paul. So we're going to fight December, maybe early January.
Meanwhile, Hearn has issued Paul a dire warning. He emphasized that facing a top heavyweight like Joshua is very risky and should not be taken lightly, even though he recognizes the enormous cash potential.
Jake Paul could last 3 rounds with Anthony Joshua. 3, 2, 1. You've seen he's called him out, presumably.
Yeah, in 2026. I mean, that's like me saying I'm going to go for the gold at the 2028 Olympics for surfing. It's clickbait, but he might just be mad enough to have a go. It's very dangerous, very dangerous. I mean, you saw a guy who has the same size as AJ and who has much more ability than Jake Paul, which is Francis Ngannou. And you saw what happened to him, and that was scary for a while. So, yeah, we can joke about it, but I don't recommend it for Mr. Paul.
I like Jake. He's a good promoter, very good promoter. And he's a funny guy. He's got a great sense of humour, got good people around him, the key, so they know their business. There's a massive weight disparity, and that's a tough thing to give away, especially with somebody who's got so much physical advantage over him, and he's a young guy, AJ. He's not an old guy, he's a young guy. Will it happen? Who knows? Anything happens sometimes in our sport. But I think that is a big ask of Jake beating him. Big ask.
Where are you on this nonsense?
Where am I? I can't see it happening. I can't. Although yes, lots of money, so on and so forth. I can't see it. I just can't. It just obviously as someone who's been a unified heavyweight world champion going in against Jake Paul, it doesn't sit right. Yeah, and it's like I'm also talking from a health and safety factor. It's like he's maybe a cruiserweight. Yeah. Anthony Joshua's a very big, strong heavyweight, and if he turns it on, it's not just a risk of a knockout. It's a much bigger risk. So I can't see it personally, but it's good talking point.
Is boxing's reputation being tarnished by Jake Paul's WBC rating, or do you think he merits one? Will meeting Paul help or hurt Anthony Joshua's reputation? Leave a comment below with your opinions.